In today's nail school, what I'm going to be doing is going over some fundamentals of smile line application. So wanted to really get in and dig deep, show you guys consistency, what to look for, how to get the bead to run from cuticle to free edge. Let's get right into this. All right, so I went ahead and prepped the nail. I was going to say for all of you guys that are starting right now, the best thing to do is probably just work with a natural nail, a tip. But if you have something where you can basically lay down a bead and have room for it to run, I think you're going to have a ton of success. So just go ahead and grab some cover powder here. They are all gone. Where is my cover powder? All right, let's see. I think we've used it all in the last demo that they were doing. Let's just go ahead and grab some core pink here. All right, so here's the thing. One of the things, what I'd love to see everybody do, and again, it doesn't matter whether they're working with a coarse bead, is getting the right consistency. So if you submerge your brush, right, and what I mean by that is if it's too dry, like if you submerge your brush and pull out way too much liquid, and then hold your brush in the surface of the powder, I don't care what you work with. If you're getting it really dry, you're getting it really dry, and again, holding it in the surface is not good, because what ends up happening, as you can see, is you get like really dry in one end. And not only that, when you go ahead and set it down, the biggest problem is getting it to run from this point to this point, right, with the least amount of effort. All right, so what I want to show you is if I was working with a nail like this and I was going to do, say, a natural overlay, what I want to be able to do is pick 3 points, the corners, which are the top of the smile, and the center where the bead is going to run down to. So if I submerge my brush and I get a lot of liquid and I tap and I bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And I hold the bead 1, 2, 3, 4, and around the 5 count, I go ahead and I set this down and release. I'm immediately going to be able to walk around the perimeter of the nail quite fast, really focusing on trying to get it tight. And then you'll notice the slow run. If I decided that I wanted to lightly tap the center of the bead to kind of bring it down, it'll leave the ears high. This is going to give me enough room to wedge out my brush. That way I can tuck the corners back, right? Tuck the corners back, and if I have to hold the center in play, I would be able to do that, right? So, for those of you guys struggle at doing reverse application, it's either because you're working with it too wet or too dry. You want to be able to get a consistency where it runs slow. That way you're going to be able to control the run, right? So take your time, juggle the smile line back, and you can see if I'm looking at it from a bird's eye view, right? If I get my brush and I get a wedge, you can see how I'm holding my brush, and kind of zoom out, right? I'm holding my brush like this. This is going to give me an ability to take that wedge and just lightly kind of tuck it back to get it super tight around that corner. And then here on this side, balance my finger and then use that to tuck it back, right? Now, if you're at a point, you can see looking down the barrel that I've gotten a nice even thickness from side to side, right? It's not too thin on the side. The biggest mistake that a lot of beginners make is they do this. They get it like this and they end up pushing this side way too thin. I'll show you. So notice the difference between that side and this side right here. This side is not going to do well. Even like from the top, like if I was to take my brush and try to make this super even from the side, The problem is the wall, as you can see, is really thin on that section. It needs to be even. We need to have kind of the same thickness that's running from the center all the way to the corner, right? That way, when you end up doing your smile or filing your smile out, you have enough room and you're not gonna get shadows in the corner, okay? So let's go ahead and give it a few more runs. Oops, that's nice. I love when my practice hand falls inside the powder. You can go ahead and take another tip. You can just kind of practice the run from this point to this point. But again, if you know, and it does not have to be, again, this is a core powder. If I was going to work with a speed powder, then what I would have to do is use a little bit more liquid, right? So this is frosted pink, right? And if I submerge my brush and get a lot of liquid, what this is going to do, it's going to allow me to get the brush full of monomer. It's going to allow me to bounce inside the powder to get a nice even bead. And then I'm not going to wait too long. I'm going to literally set that down and then use the tip of the brush to walk. And then what I'm going to do is lightly kind of poke, right? I'm making sure that I'm really kind of poking at the center of the bead to get it to come down from the surface. And then I could get that wedge basically tight on the sides to get it nice and even from corner to center. Really focusing on trying to get that smile line as even as I can from side to side. And you know, this is really going to help a lot of you guys out there that are trying to work on doing it in one. There's a few videos I have out there showing people how to do it in two, but you know, try to get your bead to run from this point to this point in the least amount of effort. Even you'll notice here, like again, I have a flat shelf, but we have an even structure. You could always add, if you end up patting it way too flat on the side, you can end up adding a small kind of filler bead right here. But at the end of the day, what you want to be able to do is you need to get that smile line the same thickness from corner to corner. That way, when you're doing your white or whatever you're going to be filing out, you're going to be able to file the structure out well without getting any shadows in the corner, okay? I hope that helps. All right, wanted to get on here real fast, kind of show you some tips and tricks when it came to doing some reverse application. If you guys have any questions, send me some pics of the work that you're doing. I'd be more than happy to take a look at it, give you guys some professional advice. If not, look forward to seeing you guys soon. I really appreciate you guys tuning in to Nail School today, and look forward to seeing you guys soon. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace.